You know, it seems that blade sharpening is like housework. It's a job that's just never done, is it? Put this freshly sharpened blade up on my handy dandy homemade scale. It's pretty well balanced, I guess. It's always important to make sure your blade is balanced so it doesn't wobble on you. Welcome to another edition of Jim Fixes Things, sort of. Today is not about sharpening, it's about some maintenance. Jobs I didn't get done last time. If you're new here, I'm Jim, and the reason I say I sometimes fix things is because I'm not a handyman. This channel is more or less for those who might be looking to try and do something maybe they haven't done before and see probably what not to do. Now, I do fix things from time to time, but there are times, like today, I've got some things I've got to catch up on. Okay, another job done. That's my mower prop, lacking a work table. I'm going to assume the blade's sharp. I've done this before, but like I said, I have no idea what I'm doing, and I don't know if I've ever really sharpened this thing. Did a bit of a test mode that seemed to go okay, but that's not why we're here today. Today it's to catch up on things like this. When I had my chainsaw before it was sharpened. It's being sharpened right now. I can't do this today, but wanted to prepare you. As soon as it's ready, I'm back. This is the other project I've got to catch up on. I was optimistic when I trimmed it the first time with that dull chainsaw that this might come back. My wife is convinced it's done for, so she wants it gone. And when I get caught up on those chores, I'm thinking about doing something automotive. Oh yeah, that's gonna be what we're sticking around for. Get my tools put away and put up my janky mower blade holder. Someday I've got to get a work table. I know, I can put it on my wife's honey-do list. Yeah, she'd love that. Okay, it's been a few days, not feeling refreshed. Saw has been sharpened, and I need to make my apologies to Craftsman. I was saying in the last video that the electric chainsaw didn't have enough power to cut down those trees, but I was wrong. According to the guy at the hardware store who sharpened my chainsaw, if you just, sharpen it, I don't know, every couple of years or so, it does this. And this is where that bush with all the limbs sticking up, remember that one? This is what it looked like before. My wife wanted to save it, but it just fell apart, so I had to just take it all the way down. So yeah, the electric chainsaw did the job. Next on the Fix-It agenda, something you automotive fans can get into. This. Not exactly the cleanest of engines, but got a problem, and I'm going to try to fix it. Actually, I'm going to try to see if I have a problem. Hopefully I don't, because if I do, it's going to be a big one. Here's the problem. The engine's consuming oil. It's not dropping it. It's not blowing it out the tailpipe. Where's it going? I've been doing some research, and evidently there have been changes made in how engines are put together. They have 3 rings on the piston that goes up and down on the cylinder that helps make the engine run. One of them is called the compression ring, and evidently some changes have been made to where it's now a softer material. And over time, this car has 250,000 miles on it. They tend to get really soft and don't want to work anymore. What I'm going to do is check the spark plugs. They probably need changing anyway, so it'd be an opportune time to do this. If I pull the spark plug out and it has oil on the tip of it, we have a problem. I'm so hoping there's no oil on the tip of it. Just saying. And of course, the day I'm trying to do this, it's overcast, which makes it dark in the engine compartment, but I'm going to try and get some kind of shop light in there. Oh wait, I have a shop light I never use. How convenient. And of course, I've got to wrestle with it a little bit to get it free to give you some content, but here we go. Okay, I've got my batteries plugged in, and I can't get the wall sockets, so I have to undo those. Come back. Never had this much trouble trying to plug in a light. Wow, it's gonna be one of those days. Just so you know, I do have some automotive experience, and I have done this before. This just pops off. It's a cover. I think it's pretty clean. And there are the spark plugs. I have 4. It's a 4-cylinder. These I've got to make sure I don't get out of order. Those spark plugs fire at a certain order to make the engine work properly. If you don't have them back together like they're supposed to be in the correct order, your car winds up thumping like a disco. And that's what you never want to hear from your car, thumping. I do have spark plug socket, small extension, and the socket I need to get those plug wires disconnected. Now this part is fairly simple. All you have to do is take these off right here. And once they're going, it's pretty easy. This shouldn't be on here that tight anyway. They're just kind of secured in, and that's it. Undo the bolts. And again, you don't want to get these out of order. These are okay. Michael rowed a boat ashore. You gotta sing a working tune. I guess, I don't know. Don't want to lose those. Now you just have to unclip this, which I should have done before I took the bolt out. But it's been a while since I've done this. Got this one loose. You pull it out. This is not the spark plug. This is what connects to the spark plug way down there in the engine. Got to be careful with this. Now to get the spark plugs out, I've got long extension. This is the smaller socket for spark plugs. Got the ratchet. Ready to go to town. I want to slip this in carefully till you connect to the spark plug. There it is. And you simply take it out. Cool thing about the spark plug socket, it has a rubber gasket that forms a bond on the spark plug. So it kind of makes it stick in there when you pull it out. See some burn, but that's kind of natural. No dripping oil or anything like that. I'm feeling a little more positive about this whole thing, but yeah, I'm gonna replace those spark plugs. Okay, let's say I got lucky with one spark plug. Let's hope the other three are in this kind of condition too. Really hope they are. The reason being is if I find oil, that means I pretty much need to rebuild the entire engine. Yeah, like $7,000, and on a car this old with 250,000 miles, you have to weigh your options. This is a desperation journey trying to see if I can save it, and so far, it's looking good. The car comes with these spark plugs from the factory. Iridium. How long does that last? It's beyond titanium. Supposedly they last a really long time. Though doesn't iridium sound like something that would weaken a superhero or something? Oh no, iridium! No, I don't know. Forgot my gap tool. They say they're pre-gapped at the factory, but I always do a second check. If you don't have the gap right, they don't fire right. This one needs 44/100ths. You take it out of its nifty container. Make sure your hands aren't greasy like mine are. You don't want that on your fresh spark plug. Got your cover. There you go. Yeah, that doesn't look like 4400ths. Looks huge to me. I need to set this opening at 4400ths with this tool, which is pretty simple. Just look for 44, slide it around to it, and it'll be snug and you kind of work it out. It's kind of hard to show you with one hand. Need help? No remarks. Okay, here we go. Gonna work the way around to 44. It's a little tough. Come on. Something key when you get to where you need to be, you just work it off slowly. Back off just a little bit. There you go. And you have your spark plug gapped. All I've got to do is do that 3 more times and I'm golden. Then you reverse the process. Put your spark plug in, get it seated, nice and firm, and it's ready to go back into the engine. Again, this is where you've got to be careful. I see a little oil on the outside, but that could be spillage of some kind. very carefully, and you start to get the thread going. Usually threads fairly easily, and it's going like butter. Yeah, there it is, just snug. And you work. Don't try to pull the socket straight off. Work it off. There we go. It comes up empty, and we're good to go on to the next one. Just put this back in place. Make sure it's snug on. There you go. Before you do anything else, reconnect this to make sure you don't get them out of order. There you go. And we line up the holes, and we're good to bolt that thing in. And take the time to double check the gap. These were gapped fairly well at the factory, but it only takes a few seconds to double check, and we're talking about your engine. And there they are in, and these are snugged down. That's all you want to do. You don't want to crack anything or break anything. If you have to replace these, not impossible, but they are a pain. Trust me, you don't want your engine thumping like a disco. Don't ask me how I know. All I gotta do is line up the holes. Back into place. Wish me luck. Though, like I said, I've done this before, it never hurts to have a little bit of doubt and a whole lot of hope. And there it is, gang. One gem can chalk up in the win column. It runs nicely, and it's got brand new plugs. The best thing about it, no signs of oil. Guys, if you like this episode, give me a big thumbs up, would you? Consider subscribing to the channel, share the links, tell folks about me, and remember, I'll be fixing to see you next time.